Graft Hope project is bringing hope literally to people who otherwise would not have access to plastic surgery. Plastic surgery is relatively new to Ghana and West Africa, but it is very important. If you have suffered an accident, or if you have been born or have developed an anomaly, a tumor, or something else that makes you feel so uncomfortable that you wish you could change it, and the only way you could is through the intervention of a skilled surgeon, well, then perhaps you've looked at the cost, and the costs of plastic surgery are nothing to be taken lightly. But the Graft Hope project says that it's going to address all of that. It's starting with the 3 northern regions. It's going to look at 100, perhaps more people who otherwise would not have any hope in getting the skilled hands of a man such as Dr. Kwame Abrokwa-Yanchura or his team of plastic surgeons to address their needs. And they are my guests this morning. I've got the coordinator and the surgeon in the studio with me. If you have a question on plastic surgery, then post it to the TV3 Sunrise page on Facebook right about now, and I'll try to include it in my conversation with Dr. Abrokwa-Yanchura and Mr. Brainerd Anani. Good morning and welcome to Sunrise.
Good morning.
Plastic surgery. Doc, let me start with you. Why is it called plastic surgery in the first place?
The word plastic has a Latin and a Greek origin. The Latin is plasticus and the Greek is plasticos, meaning mold.
To mold?
To mold, yes. And plastic surgery tend to build up tissues. There are circumstances where, as a result of injury, say accident, you may have a fracture with a very huge skin or tissue loss, and you have to replace the lost tissue. So more or less you are trying to mold what is not there.
How do you go about doing that? How do you mold something that is not there?
The body is endowed with a lot of spare parts where you can borrow from one part and transfer to where it is needed in a form of what we call flaps.
Flaps?
Flap, yes.
Flaps?
Yes.
Okay, sounds very technical to me, but I have like another question. Why is plastic surgery considered to be so expensive?
Well, I think when it comes to reconstruction in Ghana, it is not so expensive. But I think on the other side, where you are not ill and you want to improve your look, that is, when it comes to the cosmetic aspect, that one can be expensive.
So when you say reconstruction, how far can I stretch my imagination, or how far can anyone stretch their imagination? For example, if I happen to have suffered an accident,
Yes.
artwork, or at any time in my life, and I've lost a digit, or I've lost part of my nose, part of my face, or part of my ear, would you be able to reconstruct it?
Yes. Now, some can be done, others are not so easy. Now, for instance, if you lost a finger, it depends on the cause of the injury. If you get a very sharp cut, it means both the lost part and what remains are quite healthy. And therefore, if it is brought in early, it can be, or preserved and brought early, it can be replanted. Now, sometimes, depending on which part of the finger, let's say the thumb, and then the index finger are very, very significant in manual work. That one, you can borrow a toe to fit the part that is lost.
I read from your background, I gather from your background that you have a great deal of experience, and you contribute your time, your knowledge, and your skills on a regular basis to people in different parts of the world. What is the most common surgery that you perform in your capacity in Ghana as a plastic surgeon?
In Ghana, the commonest one is injuries.
Injuries?
Injuries from road traffic accident, industrial injuries, burns, and then cleft lip and palate.
Well, this seems like wonderful good news. Mr. Anani, looks like you have your work cut out for you. You're the coordinator of this Graft Hope project. Tell me a little bit about what you do as the coordinator.
Okay, basically what I do is try and then help people who under no circumstances can have some of these surgeries done for them. I go to them, go and talk to them, come on board, and then look for the surgeons also, and then bring them together so that we can have the projects done.
Now, as we're speaking, we have some images on the screen, and it's one of something that looks like the hand of a child with 2 fingers joined together. So I suppose this would be something that one is maybe born with, or one is born with. Doc, can you tell me a little bit about this sort of condition?
All right. In the womb, the hand is formed like a paddle, and it is separated. So if there is something go wrong, that this process doesn't go on, then they are born with a fusion of the fingers. It can be all the fingers or some of them. And in the surgery, we try to separate this so that they can be used.
Now, for a lot of people to be born with or to live with this sort of condition can be very traumatic and very distressing, and many people would even go as far as thinking that this is not a medical condition. They would attribute it perhaps to superstitious beliefs and so on and so forth. Do you come across that in your practice as a surgeon?
Yes. I remember, let me go back to history. In the 60s, when we were growing in the village, I used to hear the term, go and see the child off. And later I realized that children born with certain anomalies, they felt that they cannot be fit into society, so they are left them in the forest to perish. But because of plastic surgery, there's hope for such conditions like cleft lip and palate, the syndactyly that we saw, and many more of those birth defects. There's hope for them.
What is the average cost of the surgery that you're offering for free within this project? What would the ballpark figure be, if you can put a figure on it?
For instance, because we are going to accommodate them, feed them, transportation, logistics, and all that, we are expecting about, say, 20,000 per person.
20,000 Ghana
Yes,
cedis?
yes, per
At
person.
least?
At least, yes.
For the smallest kind of surgery?
Yes, on the average.
On the average?
Yes.
How high can it go in terms of cost and actual time of surgery?
I think that may be the, the ceiling.
Mr. Nani, I think you'll have more demand than supply.
Yes.
Are you oversubscribed already, or are you still working to get people to apply for this project?
As we're talking, awareness is still going on in the 3 northern regions, and people are still being registered. What's happening is this is actually the very first phase of what we're doing. So people are supposed to register now, and then in September, all the backlogs, all those that we are not able to operate on now, we'll be looking at them also in September. So it's open from now till the 20th of May. People are also still supposed to register in the 3 northern regions. If you live within these communities, then you're supposed to register, and it's free. Everything we're doing is free.
And what is the qualification? I mean, what criteria are you going to select the 100 fortunate people that you're going to help?
Now, we're looking at people who have amputated breast as a result of breast cancer. We're looking at syndactyly, as we saw, the fused fingers and toes. We're looking at contractures, people who have burns, and then male giant scrotums. Yes, we call it genital filariasis. We're looking at giant breast also. There are a lot of women who have very huge breast, and then it causes a lot of backache, rashes, and all other things. We're looking at those ones also. And then, let's say, tumors and other swellings. Yes, these are the criteria we're working with.
How easy or how difficult has it been for you to sensitize, educate, and attract people to this program? Because some of the names that you mentioned right now are really advanced medical jargon. Those are not the way that people would call these conditions in everyday life in these regions.
Yes, I've been able to go to the 3 northern regions, and I've spoken to the opinion leaders. We've had interviews on the local radio stations and other things. Now they are helping us a lot. What we do is I tell them what exactly we're doing, and then they, let's say, translate it into the different local languages. So then for the people there, when they say it as a lay person would say it, yes.
What is the patient-doctor ratio, Doc, between plastic surgeons and patients in Ghana? How many surgeons do we have to how many patients?
If our population is about 24 million, and we have only 8 plastic surgeons. So
8 plastic surgeons.
Yes.
And what's their distribution when you look at it, the
There are
northern,
4
central belt and the southern belt?
Okay. We have 4 in Kumasi and 4 in Accra. And out of these 4, 3 are in Kolebu and myself in Military Hospital.
And there are no plastic surgeons in the north?
No.
So where are you going to operate? Are you going to be able to get all the equipment and the operating theater that you would require?
Yes, we'll be hosting it at the Tamale Teaching Hospital.
It has all the facilities?
No, we have a theater space, but we have to provide our own instruments.
Your own equipment?
Yes.
Who's paying for all this, Ms. Anani? Where's all this money coming from? Because if you're looking at 100 people in the 3 northern regions, and going by what Doc said, it's at least 20,000 a patient. That's a huge amount of money.
Yes, we're still gathering funds. We're not there yet. We have Fund Milk, who's helped us. We have Regency Alliance, who's helped us. Amtrak Air and then African World Airlines are also helping us. But then this is why we're doing this. We want corporate bodies, institutions, and individuals who have a passion for these things to come and then help these unfortunate people so that at least we can all bring them hope back into the society.
How successful have you been in meeting your targets of helping people free of charge in the past on projects such as this?
This is the first we are organizing ourselves, but I've joined other teams. In January, for instance, I joined my colleague, urologist, and we did some work in Sierra Leone. That one was paid for by an American organization.
So aside of Dr. Broko, how many other surgeons do you have working on this project?
I think, we have a team of 3 medical personnel, and 3. We have 3 plastic surgeons, anesthetists, and then in general, I think we have a number of 15 people. Yeah, medical people.
A team of 15 people, that includes 3 surgeons.
Yes.
And what is the total duration of your project? When does it start and when will it end?
Awareness creation has already started. We're looking at camping the people from the 31st of May. Screening starts on the 1st of June to the 3rd of June. And then the main surgery starts from 3rd to 8th June. Yes. So it's a 1-week surgery that we're looking at.
And you're going to operate on infants, you're going to operate on women. Age is not a factor, doctor?
No.
Age is not a factor. And
in the children, at least they should be about 3 months, because you need a certain weight and other variables. When we meet those criteria, then it can be operated, but not the very day 1 also, no.
Okay, now you mentioned taking comprehensive care of your patients or your beneficiaries' needs. You want to transport them, you want to house them, you want to prepare them. All the pre-operation costs are going to be taken care of, as well as the costs of the surgery proper. What about post-operational care, medication, reviews, and so on and so forth?
They are all inclusive. We are doing this in collaboration with the local doctors. At least we'll have a surgeon from each region who will be on board. And then when we leave, they will be able to take care of some of the issues that needs to be addressed.
What does it take to be a plastic surgeon?
You should have finished a medical school. And then the first thing should be interest. And then you go through a postgraduate training. I train under the West African College of Surgeons, and we have 3 levels. We have a primary level, which is mostly the basic sciences of